So far, DC Comics' new initiative, All In, has been pretty damn fantastic. We got some new creative teams, some new jumping on points, and a whole new universe to explore in the Absolute Universe. A universe with a brand new take on all of your favorite DC heroes. Welcome to the channel, guys. I'm Drew Manchu, and today we're going to be taking a look at Absolute Superman. But before we get into it, guys, make sure you like the video and hit that subscription button, and we're going to go ahead and get into it right now. Absolute Superman starts on Krypton years ago, 9 million light years from Earth. Their society was based on technology, and their city centers ruled the world, being where the Science League was located. They were the ruling class and the finest minds on Krypton. They had all the power, and Superman's parents were not among them. In the Redlands of Krypton, things are a little bit different. These are more rural, farm-like settlements here, and we find out here that the rain is late. The rain's late because they use machines to create clouds in order to provide rain for these crops. And we see a man with an S emblazoned on his chest, and he's complaining that the clerics have charged him for an early morning downpour, but he hasn't seen a drop of rain. And the young woman who is working underneath of his equipment says that, they're going to go ahead and provide the cities first before they get anything out to the Redlands. It's just the way it is. Not only is there no rain yet, but his rain bill's actually gone up. The young woman says that she could build him his own cloud seeder for the amount he's paying, but he says if she gets locked up for illegal sciencing, who's going to fix his harvesters? This magnificent female mechanic turns out to be Laura L. And when the farmer tries to pay her with some of her husband's favorite berries, she says that he's going under today for the 3,475th time. But this time, she's nervous about it. And as the rain machines finally arrive, Laura stands out in the downpour, and we get to know a little bit more about her history. When she was 9 years old, she was very studious and destined for great things. She wanted to be an astronaut, but unfortunately she wrote an essay criticizing Krypton's lack of funding for interstellar exploration, and they banned her from ever applying for the Science Academy for being unruly. You see, the class structure on Krypton was very, very strict. At the top, you had the Science Guild. They were the pinnacle, they were the leaders, they were the rulers. And at the bottom, you had the Labor Guild. And regardless of your class, you wore your designation on your chest. The Sons of the Science League as a sign of pride, and the crest of the Labor Guild worn as a mark of shame. The sign of the poor and unskilled, but people like Kal-El's parents wore it with pride. They said they were the children of the sun, those who made the way in this world with their own two hands. They were the people of steel. We then find out what going under means as we see Jor-El, Kal-El's father and a geological engineer. Digging has been halted because the diggers heard splintering, so they brought in the engineer to check and see if the mine was still safe. But as he's trying to assess the situation, he's interrupted by an irate man who happens to be from everybody's favorite league, the League of Middle Management. This guy wants the mine open now. He wants work to resume. He wants everything to keep going. But Jor-El has the scientific authority here. So despite middle management's threats, he closes the mine until further inspection can be done. And as the earth starts to rumble, we learn that this is really typical for Jor-El. Much like his wife, he was an exemplary student, but his career took a downturn much, much later. At his graduation, he gave a speech condemning what he saw as Science League's environmental recklessness. They've been pillaging Krypton's natural resources, and he believed it could lead to global catastrophe, and he was laughed out of graduation, basically got canceled. But all along, he was right. The mine collapsed and radiation was spewing out of Krypton's core. The planet was rotting from within. All of Krypton was doomed. The cities, the Redlands, the scientists, the laborers, the L's, all of it. Except for maybe one piece. We then cut to now, on Earth, in Brazil, and a diamond mine run by the Lazarus Corporation. 3 days ago, the migrant workers at the mine were tunneling underneath a kimberlite ore body to find diamonds when they came across a large deposit of asbestos. They were ordered by their employers to continue digging. So they did. Snow began to fall in the favela outside the mine where the workers lived with their families, and it was a blizzard of carcinogens. And when the workers tried to leave, they were reminded that they were still under contract to the Lazarus Corp, and they were reminded of this at gunpoint. Now, Lazarus did offer them hazard pay in the form of $300 extra, but that's a little bit lopsided when you realize that they extracted $200 million worth of diamonds from that mine in the last year. As the workers enter the mine the next morning, they realize that the diamond ore has already been mined and crushed, and there's no asbestos in the air. It's like the entire mine has been cleared out. While trying to figure out how they've come across such fortune, one of the miners remembers the night before seeing a hooded figure, a young mysterious man, who was all by himself and quiet, and he walked away into the mine, saying that he had work to do. These miners take their windfall to the surface, but the peacemakers are not happy. They want to know just how the heck that these miners did the job so quickly. Where did all these diamonds come from? They didn't just mine themselves. They want to know what's up. And these Lazarus thugs are pretty interesting. And they've got Peacemaker helmets on. They've got the Peacemaker logo on their chest. It's like a whole army of John Cena's just working for the Lazarus Corp. And as these goons are assaulting these workers, they realize that the head count has been completed and somebody's missing. The alert brings in a whole new squad of goons ready to hunt down Superman. He spent years traveling the planet, taking out mine after sweatshop after factory farm. And every time, Lazarus was at the center. And after being hit by him time and time again, Lazarus and the Peacemakers are more prepared for him than ever. But Superman is tired of running. And in addition, this Superman is equipped with Soul. What is Soul, you might ask? Well, Soul is his AI-enhanced Kryptonian battle armor that's here to protect him and also to temper his powers. Soul scans note that the Lazarus Corp's forces are using weapons and armor that are incorporated with technology that is not native to the galaxy. Soul wants Superman to retreat to save himself, but Superman will not. Kal-El is insistent on saving these miners. Soul keeps reminding Kal-El that his solar energy is depleted and he's in danger. But time and time again, Kal-El puts the lives of the miners ahead of his own safety. And as he's attacked by Reaper drones, the Lazarus Command calls off the attack. They want him alive. They want to capture him. And as the Phenomena Field team is analyzing the data on this Superman, a bright-eyed young female agent makes the observation that his suit looks like it's moving. And it looks like he's talking to himself. And even though Superman knows that he can't control his powers, he starts to unleash his heat vision, which is a giant explosion destroying everything in the immediate area. He even has to ask Soul to shut him down and control his power. And as Superman lays powerless on the ground, Soul begs him not to engage and not to risk his life for these people, to return to hiding and not forget the lessons of Krypton, and that some worlds just can't be saved, not from themselves. Kal-El realizes that Soul is right, but before he can leave, he's surrounded by the Lazarus forces, and he's cuffed and contained by Agent Lois Lane. We then flash to the Nevada desert and the Lazarus Corp R&D department, where a ominous villain is viewing all of this on a set of screens, surrounded by canisters with small cities in them screaming for help. Obviously, all of the cords connected to this man and his brain. This has gotta be Brainiac. And this reveal is followed by a page where we see central Kansas and the derelict Kent farm as property of the Lazarus Corp. There's a hole in the roof of the barn, and this looks like it may be the crash landing site when Kal-El landed on Earth. We then flash back to Jor-El emerging from the mine right after the collapse. He's singed with radiation and he's absolutely shook up. He doesn't really know what's going on, muttering about the testing and how he must be certain before he warns the world. And then he freaks out when he realizes that his son is not there. He wants to know, where's Cal? Laura, where's our son? She says it's all right, he's right here. And then we see a boy of about 9 years old with his dog. So we've got Kal-El and Krypto being raised on Krypton by his parents. And they say that they're going to get through this the way they get through everything together. And the issue ends with radiation leaking to the surface of the planet. And there you have it, guys. Absolute Superman #1 was absolutely amazing. Really stellar art and some unique panel layouts from Rafa Sandoval, and Jason Aaron is really a master at his craft here. I love the depiction of the L's on Krypton and their struggles against the societal injustices, and how the Superman S is basically a symbol of the working class, the people of steel. I love that line. And I love all the little sprinklings of seasoning that he added throughout. The Peacemakers and Peacemaker's emblem and the helmets, how they're the goons for the Lazarus Corp. That's awesome. You get Crypto the Superdog hanging out, and we get Lois Lane as an agent for the Lazarus Corp. That's pretty dope. I also really dug the fact that Soul, his armor, is a bit of an AI. It gives him a bit of an Iron Man feel when he's in battle. A way for the last son of Krypton to not feel so alone. But I also have a ton of questions. Will we get a romantic relationship with this Lois Lane and Superman? Is that in fact Brainiac working for the Lazarus Corp? And did Crypto the Superdog make it to Earth? I certainly hope so. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. Did you enjoy this issue? What are your predictions for the run? And how do you think Absolute Superman stacks up against Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman? Don't forget to give me a like if you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see more of my content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you never miss anything I'm putting out. I'm Drew Manchu, and I'll see you guys next time.